Hey guys, how's it going? It's Kyle here with another Guardian Tales video, and in today's video I'm going to talk about the best merch that you guys should be focusing on here in Guardian Tales. So before we get in this video, if you could get a like on this video, that'd be awesome. Also subscribe to this channel if you want more Guardian Tales content. And so with that out of the way, let's get back into talking about merch here. So this is a new item that dropped here recently here in Guardian Tales, and it's a little overwhelming, but once you kind of see the patterns of how they do the drops here for merch, it's pretty simple. And there's a pretty clear type that you should be looking for and what to get. And then there's going to be some long-term goals here in these natural 3 stars that you're going to probably want to shoot for, but they're going to take a very long time to ever get them. So for most people, these 2 stars are going to be the ones you really want to focus on. And you'll see a lot of the same patterns here. So we got these here as they're going to drop as a 2, and you have to get multiple copies if you're going to want to get them to 3 and get them to 4 star. But there's going to be a lot of these here where it's 8% dark type attack, 8% earth attack, 8% water attack. So every element is covered when it comes to these guys. And then each type of blueprint is going to be able to drop these guys for you. Regardless of which blueprint you use, the only thing that's going to change on the blueprint is going to be which natural 3-star drops. And then also how many of each of the 3 things is going to actually be needed to create that blueprint. But the 2 stars are always going to be the same on this guy. So the ones you're going to really want to look for are the attack ones. So 8% attack, and then these ones right here, these -2% or -2 seconds of weapon skill regen on enemy kill. I think that one is not great. This 2% HP recovery on enemy kill, probably not great. The skill damage is solid, but I would recommend going for whatever type of attack you have, like whatever characters you have, going for that element's attack type is probably going to be the best way to go. And why I'm bringing up the 2 stars is, you know, also the 1 stars are just really bad. Like none of them are actually really that good. So the 1 stars are not really worth it. Probably if you pull a couple 1 stars, because this is going to be a very slow grind, because you only get 1 attempt per day unless you're really out on this. You're really not going to get that much merch. This is going to be a really slow time. And then to even get the 3 and the 4 star, you're going to need an additional copy of the same thing to get this one. And then 2 more copies on top of that to get the 4 star. Then you're going to need a ton of merch just in general to ever even get to the level 30, like leveling the merch. But that is such marginal rewards anyway that I don't think people really care about that. I think the special effect here that goes up the second you level the merch, that's going to be the thing people want to focus on. So the 2-star stuff, those are going to be the things you're mainly going to be having, and I think that's going to be the main thing you're going to see for a very long time. But depending on how lucky people are or how much they roll, is these natural 3 stars are really interesting effects. Even with these being quote unquote better pieces of gear, they're not necessarily actually better than just the flat attack stats you're getting here in the element. And here, let's go over what they are. So at max, increase damage by 20% to enemies with HP more or equal to 40%. I would say this is absolutely better than an element effect most of the time. But when you think about just how realistic this is to actually get, because when you say increase damage by 6% to enemies with HP or more equal to 40%, that's really not that great. And then you realize that this is super rare, and you need to pull 1, 2, 3 copies to ever get to this 20%. You know, yes, I would probably use this on a lot of people, but pulling these and then actually getting the 5-star effect is going to take forever. Yes, this is going to be one to look out for. Just keep in mind that this is going to be way off into the future for it to ever really be viable. And then over here, we got the decreased damage taken by 15% of increased skill attack. I think that's interesting. I'd like to see this tested, but I think that's something to keep an eye out for. And then this one right here, increase damage to 10 gear hero by 24%. I think this one's really good. Like almost all of these are good. And then on hit, extra melee damage by 25% of DPS once every 2 seconds. And I think these are all pretty solid here. And then this is the ranged one, 25% of DPS every 2 seconds. But all this stuff to really know just how good it is. I think this is probably the only bad one in my opinion. 15% shield increase on battle start. I think I would rather have almost all of these except this one. Because of that, what I want to talk about is just how the merch is distributed and how you can expect to get them. Because if you look here on the blueprints here, let's craft something. Oh, here, let's actually get this out of the way. Oh, hey, we just pulled one. This is so first unique 3-star. That's dope. So it's going to take a long time for it to actually really be truly viable, in my opinion, until we get it all the way to 5-star. Because of that, and then which ones you want to actually go for. I think not only what you're going to want to make sure of is not only which blueprint you have, but which currency you have to make said blueprint. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So if I go to create this one right here, this implant, let's go create it right here. Create. So notice how this one takes 5 clay, 1 circuit board, and 2 dye. Okay, but if I went to, for example, this round blueprint, it takes 1 clay, 2 circuit board, 5 dye. So the one I'm really going to want to focus on is going to be this one, because I have so much more clay than I do the dye. And then let's say I do the small blueprint. Small blueprint takes 5 dye, 1 circuit board, 2 clay. This one takes 5 clay versus only 2. So the only things that really change when it comes to these blueprints is going to be out of the 3 currencies that it takes to create one of these, what it uses, and then also, as you're seeing here at the top, the unique merch that potentially could drop at only a 3% rate is going to change based on which one you choose. So you're going to want to take that into consideration. So for me, let's say even if I wanted this one more than I want the Ogma one, I'm still going to roll this one because I get more attempts out of this. I could do 3 of these. I could queue up 3 versus I could only queue up 1 of these. So that's going to be another thing to keep in mind too when it comes to this unique merch. But the one thing you don't have to worry about ever is going to be the 2 stars that drop. You're always going to get these. So you never have to worry about regardless of which you use. So I think for the most part, you're always going to want to just maximize the amount of merch you could actually create, because the unique gear, yes, is really good, but it's only a 3% drop chance, and you're kind of at the mercy of whatever merch crafting materials you actually have dropped before. And the only reason why I have this much is because I wanted to test the system, and I bought one of the packs, or yeah, I bought one of those option packs. So that's why I even had this much. Most people won't even have close to this much, and they have to do this exploration here. And the exploration, this thing can only be gotten once per day. And you got to make sure, I mean, you could screw up and not get all the rewards, and you would have even less materials for creating merch. That's why, based on how this system works here, that's the reason why I'm saying the 2 stars are going to be absolutely the way to go. And just so you could visualize it when it comes to upgrading merch. So I pulled a whole bunch of these Aoba's eye masks. So then right here, if I tried to put something else that wasn't the same type here, I put this in. Notice how it just increases the level. Okay. But if I go here and put another one of the same thing, notice how it increases the evolution level by 1. And then that's going to immediately increase the earth type attack by 14%. So that if I put another one on here, it doesn't increase it all the way. It only gets it to 50%. Then I need to put another one. Then boom. Now I'm at 4%. Now I could get the fully maxed 20% earth type attack damage, which is awesome. Especially, if you have really good earth characters, and a lot of, Bari is going to be a good example of someone that would totally use this. That is why I really think it's important to double down on these 2 stars, because you're always going to be pulling these. These are going to be totally reasonably expected to get, because it doesn't matter where you go on your blueprints, you're always going to be able to pull all of them. It's not like, I like that it's not, okay, this blueprint you could only get dark, water, and fire, and then this blueprint you could only get light, basic, and something like that. Like all of the 2 stars could drop on each blueprint. So I really like that. And it's super fast if you do pull duplicates to actually get a reasonable amount of stats here that is going to be super useful for you. Like even the 8%, like if you have a mono earth team, the 8% on everyone is going to be a really big deal. And then you could slowly upgrade them to 20% earth type attack for each of them, for example. And then way down the line, let's say you want to use one of these guys, you can upgrade that and then slowly replace it and stuff like that, but it's only a 3% drop rate. So good luck getting them in any reasonable amount of time unless you're super lucky. So that's my thoughts here on merch here. Those are going to be my best ones. It's just simply going to be the elemental damage increase is going to be the main one to shoot for first. And then slowly over time, you're going to, whichever unique 3-star piece of gear you're wanting to upgrade to, then hopefully you get lucky. Hopefully you guys pull it here, in a relatively reasonable amount of time. But I feel like this is going to be a very long grind, especially with the bottleneck of only getting these once per day. So let me know in the comments below if you have any questions on merch here. And with that, guys, I am out. Peace.